ya. How you feeling? How'd you feel like that went? You feel like that 9/11 thing was pretty good, Lou? I'm not letting you have the mic after that 9/11 thing you did. Oh yeah, let's just ask the class about how they handled 9/11. How was that for you, Miss Teacher? Oh, traumatic? I forgot. I could just hold the mic the whole time. That's crazy. Are you going to do the questions or am I?
Yeah, I'm comptrolling. So we actually have a lot of questions, and if you want to submit one while we're doing the Q&A, feel free. This first one is from Mike. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a comedian? So
you did not pay enough to ask that question.
We told you HR is here, dude. Get him. Oh, and then immediately followed up by what's the gayest thing you ever did? Mike, what's going on, bud? Bro, you got to come hit us up at the merch stand before you start asking these questions.
I would like to go on the record and say the gayest thing I've ever done was Lou. I thought that was going to get a bigger laugh. It was not. Okay, sorry. Now they just think we're gay together.
Yeah. It's not gay if you talk about 9/11 after. What is the pettiest thing you've ever done to get back at a student? Pettiest thing.
Okay, perfect. Women's voices matter. Okay, this wasn't great. So I use like a raffle ticket system in my classroom where if they're good, I give them raffle tickets and then I pull winners and then the fucking candy, whatever, you get it. And this one kid, I had realized he stole raffle tickets. When I had a sub, he went in my desk and he stole the raffle tickets. And so I may or may not have sat the entire class down and made them all watch as I dug through the bin and found his individual ones and tore them up one by one. And I would do it again.
Do you have one? Nothing funny? Okay. Mine is also kind of bullying. This is the meanest thing I've ever done, but I had this chick. She was so mean to me all year. I have great relationships with students. It's the one thing. I'm not a good teacher, but I'm a great hang, okay? The kids love me every year, and I had this one chick for 2 years. She hated me. I couldn't get anything right, and so she just bitched me out. Oh, you don't fucking care about this. You don't fucking care about that. And I was like, I do. And then one day, she had a seizure in class. And there was a moment where I was like, oh, now you need me? They're like, hold her head so she doesn't bite off her tongue. I'm like, that's exactly what I want to happen.
Seizure in class goes crazy hard. Like,
yeah, well, dude, it was one of those crazy seizures where she doesn't do anything. She was just like sitting there quietly, and then you're like, are you okay? And she was like, no. Oh, fuck that, dude.
My teacher mentor, he got a kid in his class who got like the paperwork in advance. They were like, she's prone to seizures. You need to go to this training about it. And he walked into the principal's office and he goes, I ain't no fucking nurse. So if you want her to live, you're going to have to put somebody in here because I'm not doing shit.
What?
And I was like, wow, what a fucking power move. Because they did put someone in there.
You do realize very quickly, you're like, I could just say what I need and they have to do it. And if they don't, you can go, I'm not going to do it. And they'll go, okay, we'll fix it. We'll make it happen. Not for you. You're like, no, not here in Michigan. Yeah. In Louisiana, they're begging anybody with blood to come in there and teach. Do you just want to share it with me? No. This is the gayest thing we've ever done?
Sorry. I was possessed. I did remember a petty thing that I did. I had a kid who was constantly late after lunch, and my students are allowed to go off campus after lunch, and he would always walk in late with food. And so one day he came in and set down a 20-piece chicken nugget and then immediately asked to go to the bathroom. I was like, yeah, bud, take your time. And I ate all 20 of his chicken nuggets. Dude, and then he got back and I gaslit him. He was like, mister, what happened to my chicken nuggets? I was like, I don't know, man. maybe if you were on time, you would have kept better care of them. What quality do you most appreciate in a special ed colleague? Y'all are really good at headlocks. Like, really? Dude, honestly, like, Steven and I were bouncers in college, and I once saw a special ed teacher, like, just come in like a snake and just do like this and just immediately, like, drag a kid back to class. I was like, that's fucking great form, man. That was good.
What do I appreciate in a special ed colleague? Their presence in my life. Thank you. Thank you so much. We do this Q&A across the country. Yeah. We do this Q&A across the country, and people always ask, they'll put in an anonymous question like, when's the last time you had somebody pee on you? When's the last time you had somebody shit in the corner of your classroom? When's the last time? And it's disgusting, and every time you're like, who said this? And it's like a special ed teacher every single time. And if I got fluid on me once, I'm fucking done. Do you like special ed colleagues?
I will say I have only extensively worked with one, and she was fucking awesome. I don't have anything funny to say, unfortunately. She just like actually taught me a lot about like how to work with students better. Yeah, she was a fucking icon. She taught me what an IEP was. You know, we were rocking with it. Crazy that was like my 4th year teaching.
You know what I appreciate in a special ed teacher is when you don't allow the students to advocate for themselves, okay? We've let them go too far. I'm losing you very quickly. Okay. Here's just what I'll say. When a kid walks in and you're like, hey, are you going to be on time to my class? And they're like, well, for me personally, I'm advocating for myself and getting a nutritional breakfast than being in your bitch-ass classroom. And you're like, who'd you hear this from? And they're like, they told me to advocate for myself. I'm like, I'm going to advocate for a foot in your ass. What's the funniest thing a kid said without realizing what it actually means?
Oh, God, this was bad. I've taught U.S. history most of the time, and this kid, with so much genuine curiosity, said, which one comes first, George Washington or the Civil War? And I was like, I need a moment.
You're like, the Civil War can't come. What is it? What's the funniest thing a kid said without knowing what they were saying? Ooh, the Air Bud story comes to mind. I also, when the students first learned what gooning was, when you're like, hey, quit gooning off, and or it used to be cool, like Lil Wayne would be like, me and my goons, and so you had one kid who was trying to act hard, and he's like, yeah, don't make me give my goons after you, and I was like, you're what? If you don't know now, gooning means jerking off, and it's really kind of ruined things for that community. I had a student, when I was teaching ELL, we were showing Air Bud, and I had these 2 kids that wouldn't stop talking, and I was like, hey, will y'all stop talking? They were like, we have a question. And I was like, all right, what's your question? These kids from Tanzania. And they go, is this a real story? And I was like, Air Bud? Yes, this is the land of opportunity. Even dog can become basketball player.
I teach a lot of kids, like I said, they don't speak English as a first language. And 9th grade boys, no matter what language or culture, are all obsessed with working out. And I had one kid, he wanted my workout routine, and so he kept trying to compliment me. And what he was trying to say was, Mister, I wish I had your arms. But he didn't speak English really well, so what came out was, Mister, I want your body. And I was like, what? He panicked because he knew he didn't say the right thing, so all he did was repeat himself in Spanish, and that was way worse. Because he just went, quiero su cuerpo. I was like, bro, you can't whisper that at me. If you could be principal for a day at your school, what would you do? Icebreakers all day long. That's all I'm doing.
I'm getting drunk, dude. I'm the principal for a day. I could do anything that I want. Dude, I'm getting drunk. I'm hitting a kid. But only the one that deserves it. Maybe she's having a seizure again. Try and knock some sense into her.
Listen, y'all are gonna like my answer way better. I'm taking that principal's credit card and I'm buying a printer that fucking works.
Dude, I love, that's the most energy that anybody from the school has gotten is like, a fucking printer! Dude, when we were in Missouri, they were trying to pass that you gotta put the 10 Commandments up in every classroom. And I can remember being like, bitch, with what ink? Who's paying to print it? You better send everybody the printout and the tape, because we don't have neither.
I never felt more power as a teacher. If some of you who know me know I took like a year and a half off teaching and I had a corporate job where I really learned to make a printer your bitch. Because I was an office manager. And so then when I came back to teaching, I feel so cool when the printer's jammed. I'm like, I fucking got it. Just fucking
When you said make that printer your bitch, you put on like this dominatrix stance. You were like, I'll fucking...
Because the thing about a printer is it can smell fear. 90% of the
so
game
funny.
is going in with confidence. Because if you go to that printer and your class is already on the way, no, those worksheets are not coming out.
Dude, I do love when you're in there, you're in the lounge in the workshop, and another teacher's like, printer 1's not working, it's all printer 2, and you just walk up like, I bet I could make 1 work. And then you walk up, you like do everything you can, and then I don't have enough confidence. I just have to tuck and be like, all right, I guess it's printer 2 today. The tuck. What do you got? Which one? This one? Have you ever seen natural consequences happen to a kid and just not step in 100 times?
Yeah.
First off, what the fuck, Olivia? What are you doing in your classroom? Have you ever seen consequences happen to a kid and just not step in? Yes. I mean, yeah. Have you ever seen a girl fight? I don't want any part of that. No, absolutely.
There is, it's always a fight, and it's always a girl fight. There was one time where it was a guy fight where the guy slapped another guy's girlfriend, and it was the big guy in the school too. And it was the dorky kid that slapped his girlfriend, and I've watched a kid get hit so hard that I saw a tooth fly out, and I still let the kid get about 6 steps before I was like, no, stop.
The biggest way that you can get away with this and really let the consequences hit them in the ass is just to, as a woman in a male-dominated field, used weaponized incompetence. So when it comes to the end of the semester and the kid that's been sleeping the whole time has like a 27, and let's be honest, he comes up to me, because girls do their work, and they're like, what am I gonna do? I just play dumb and I go, oh my God, what are you gonna do?
I mean, yeah, I don't get paid to break up shit happening to kids. If I see bullying, they just need to learn. Teacher of the year. And
Lou's the one bullying him. Lou's like, what's up, twerp?
dude, I mean, okay, they're all wearing like Jinko jeans and they all look like 2003 all the time. I had a kid who I was wearing a suit to school, and a kid came up to me and she goes, dang, Mr. Ferris, you look good, like a divorced dad. Dude, I was like, okay, well, you look like fucking Xenon, so I don't want to hear it.
I have a kid who wears a suit every single day.
You have a kid that wears a suit?
Yeah, there's a kid in my school, and he wears a suit every single day. And I was long-term stuck, because the first day I saw him, I was like, oh, drug dealer's crazy.
She's so confident, too. She's like, I nailed it.
You're about to feel bad. Because the first day I saw him, I was like, maybe he has like a debate competition or something. But I was in that class for 3 days. So the third day, I was like, hey, man, suit every day. What's going on? And he goes, when we live in a society of bums, you got to rise above and keep it business professional.
Yeah, that's a special ed diagnosis.
Yeah, that is no bitch behavior. That's what that is.
I'm the only one that talks to him. Like, he's not living a good life right now.
Yeah, that kid's on the fast track to living in his mom's basement. So we got 2 more. Story of the worst a kid's ever embarrassed their parent. So I actually have one. I don't call parents like ever. In 11 years, I've never called a parent actually.
Teacher of the year.
That's okay. That's a lie. I have called a parent, but like if they answer, I immediately hang up and I'm like, number was disconnected. So. But I will talk to teachers or parents when they come into parent-teacher conference. And this woman walked in, and you can tell that like she was embarrassed. And like I told you, I teach a lot of students, not a lot of immigrant students. And this woman was Nigerian, and I like had never met any or dealt with that culture before. And she came in pissed, and I was like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Ferris," and she goes, "Yes. I want you to know, you can hit my son." I was like, I don't think that's necessary. And she goes, no, he thinks he's funny. He doesn't pay attention in school. Hit him. Yeah, I'd like call my own mom and be like, are we Nigerian?
I relate to that. My mom used to whoop my ass. And she was a night nurse, so she'd work until 7 a.m., and then I'd be a dick in class. And so the office would call her and wake her up. And after about the 12th time in 1 year, she goes, if you call me again, I'm going to whoop your ass. And they were like, ma'am, we just need him to act right. And so then she came down to the office, just tits flapping, just no bra, just in her pajamas. And she goes, I told you to hit him. I'm in the office. I can hear everything. And she goes, the vice principal goes, ma'am, we can't hit him. And she goes, bitch, I signed the paperwork. And then I heard the vice principal go, ma'am, we never sent home paperwork, which just means my mom was writing letters going, hit the motherfucker, just in my blood or something.
My mom took kind of an opposite route to embarrass me at school. There was one time that I was talking shit on Twitter, and the girl tried to fight me, and that's where I learned I shouldn't talk shit on Twitter.
Nice.
So my mom had to come up to the school, and she showed up in a full suit in stilettos with my tweets printed out, and she timed it for the class change, so that she picked me up from the classroom, and I had to walk behind her as she clickety-clacked down the hallway, and we went to the office to discuss my suspension.
Ooh. Having your mom in there while you get suspended is embarrassing as hell. I think we have time for one more question. We're getting the light. We got to get the fuck out of here. So after the show, make sure you tab out. Make sure you support your bartenders. Tip your staff. Round of applause for the staff here. They're incredible. They have the hardest job. Give them your money. As teachers, we have health insurance. I promise you, they have the hardest job. So, look, if you give them money, they're going to be able to afford health insurance probably. Well, no, they're going to buy drugs, but, they could. It's teachers. So we're also going to be upstairs. Please come buy merch. That supports the tour. I think we have time for one more question or two.
We have one. One? Yeah, we just have one. And if we didn't get to your question tonight, follow us on Instagram at Unteachables Comedy, and we do a bunch of lives and stuff, and we'll answer your stuff. Steven, this last question is actually for you, and I think I'd like you to read it before we get out of here, because it's very funny.
Oh, you motherfucker. I don't know. You didn't even put a name on it. All right. This is, whoever it is, you're a piece of shit, but you're also very funny. It says, what is a penis, Charles Carr? I think that's a good place to end it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Miss Redacted. Let her hear it. Lou Ferris, let him hear it. Round of applause for me. Let me hear it.
Give it up for Steven Taylor.
Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next time.